gorgeous. All you have to do is lay back and relax and let me take care of everything, okay? You just lay back and relax. I've got you, okay? Let me take care of everything. You don't have to do anything at all, okay? So I brought you a nice little blanket that we can wrap you in. There we go. And let me just fluff your pillow a bit as well. How's that? Good? Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, I'm glad that you are all nice and cozy. I did bring some friends along if you wanted a buddy. So we've got Appa, we've got Rainbow Bear, and we've got Kirby. So who will it be? You want all of them? Okay, we can do all of them. Okay, so I'm gonna put Rainbow Bear over here. Okay, and then we're gonna put Appa over here on this side right here for you. Okay, and Kirby will just go right over here. Perfect. Nice and cozy still? Okay, good. So first, let me just get your hair out of your face and just sort of brush your hair. Make sure it doesn't get all tangled in the middle of the night. Everything's gonna be okay. You don't have to do anything at all. I'm here and I'm gonna take care of everything, okay? Let's get that little tangle there. Okay. Now that your hair is brushed and out of your face, I'm going to put a little spell that's gonna make it so you have sweet dreams and you're able to get all the sleep and rest that you need, okay? So I'm just gonna go down your nosy, under your eyes, a little heart on the forehead, a little boop on the chin, and a little circle on the nose. Okay, that should do it so you have sweet dreams. Okay. Now I do have a story to read you, but first I want to make it so that your eyes are nice and heavy, okay? We're going to tire those eyes out and occupy that mind so that you stop thinking so much. You stop doing anything at all and just relax, okay? So we have our buddy, the rainbow flower, and all you have to do is keep your eyes on the flower, okay? Keep your eyes on the flower. Good. And when your eyes get nice and heavy, feel free to close them whenever you need. And once they've been closed and you're getting sleepier and sleepier, I'll brush your face a little bit and then read you a little story. How does that sound? Okay, good. Keep on following the flower back and forth and over here and over there. Good. Keep following the flower and let those eyes get lost in all the little fractals in the petals, all the different colors that you see. Let your eyes get lost in the reflections. Notice how they change as the flower moves around. notice how all the colors change. And just pay attention to the way that the light hits and what you like about it and what makes you feel the happiest, what you think is the prettiest. Just keep on looking at the flower and the pretty, pretty, pretty colors. Oh, the pretty, pretty colors. Good, 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 good. Okay. Are your eyes getting heavier? Good. All right, so I'm gonna start slowing down the flower, but don't take your eyes off of it, okay? Slowing it down. Slow, slow, slowing it down. Slow, slow, slowing it down. Slow, 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 slowing it down. Slow, 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 slowing it down. Slowing it down. And you can really see the detail of the colors on the light now. Slowing it down. Good job. Okay. Now, let's just brush away those worries. Brush away the crease in your brow from all the anxiety. Brush away the rubble that we got throughout the day. Brush, 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 brush. Brush away all of the anxiety and worries about tomorrow. Brush, 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 brush. In fact, I'm actually going to grab those. Grab the anxieties and worries of tomorrow and get them all out of you. And don't worry, they'll be here when you actually need them. Let's just get them out. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now, I'm going to hold them here in my hand, and I'm going to put them here in this cup. And put the cup next to your nightstand, okay? Here we go. We're just going to put that on your nightstand. Now, all of the things that you need to worry about, that you have to do, all of that stuff, it's on your nightstand. It'll be there in the morning, okay? Right now, you don't have to do anything but relax and just let me take care of everything, okay? Let me brush away any of the pain and sadness that keeps you awake. Let's brush it away for now. Let's just make it go somewhere else right now. And it can come back when we have time to process it, okay? There we go. Let's just brush, 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 brush it away. Brush, 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 brush it away. All of the regrets or I don't know, just those bummy feelings that happen when you look back on the day and you're like, dang, I wish I would have done that or whatever, you know? Let's brush those away. Let's brush those way away. Okay. And anything else that we might be forgetting that you don't need, we're just gonna brush, brush it away. We're just gonna brush it away, okay? Okay. And now I'm going to fill the brush with some good dreams and lots of sleep, okay? And we're gonna brush that on. Just brushing that on you. tons and tons and tons of good energy. Good energy and good dreams. All there on that beautiful face. There you go. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get you a story. I got you the storybook. It's a compilation of a ton of different stories, like the classic kind of stories. So we'll see, because this might be written kind of funky. I've read some of them before, and it definitely is. But I'm going to read you. Let's see. Definitely not Hansel and Gretel. There we go. Okay, here's a good one. I'm going to read you Goldilocks and the Three Bears, okay? Okay, here we go. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Little Goldilocks was a pretty girl who lived once upon a time in a far-off country. One day, she was sitting on the rug playing with her two kittens, and you would have thought that she was as happy as a queen and quite content to stay where she was instead of wanting to run about the world meddling with other people's property. Damn, read her. But it happened that she was a rather mischievous little girl. She went away into the wood behind her mother's house, and it was such a warm, pleasant day that she wandered on and on until she came to a part of the wood where she had never been before. Now, in this wood there lived a family of 3 bears. The first was a great big bear. The second was a middle-sized bear. And the third was a little teeny tiny bear. And they all lived together in a funny little house and were very happy. Goldilocks stopped when she came to the bear's house and began to wonder who lived there. "I'll just look in and see," she said, and so she did. But there was no one there, for the bears had all gone out for a morning walk, while the soup they were going to have for dinner cooled upon the table. Goldilocks was rather hungry after her walk, and the soup smelled so good that she began to wish the people of the house would come home and invite her to have some. But although she looked everywhere, under the table and into the cupboards, she could find no one. And at last she could resist no longer, but made up her mind to take just a little sip to see how the soup tasted. The soup had been put into 3 bowls. A great big bowl for the great big bear, a medium-sized bowl for the medium-sized bear, and a teeny tiny bowl for the teeny tiny bear. Beside each bowl lay a spoon, and Goldilocks took one and helped herself to a spoonful of soup from the great big bowl. Ugh, how it burned her mouth. It was so hot with pepper that she did not like it at all. Still, she was very hungry, so she thought she would try again. This time, she took a sip of the middle-sized bear's soup, but she liked it no better, for it was too salty. But when she tasted the teeny tiny bear's soup, it was just as she liked it. So she ate it up, every drop, without thinking twice about it. When she had finished her dinner, she noticed 3 chairs standing by the wall. One was a great big chair, and she climbed upon that and sat down. Oh, how hard it was! She was sure she could not sit there for long, so she climbed up to the next, which was only a middle-sized chair. But that was too soft for her taste. So she went on to the last, which was a teeny tiny chair, and it suited her just right. It was so comfortable that she sat on and on until, if you'll believe it, she actually sat the bottom out. Then, of course, she was comfortable no longer, so she got up and wondered what she should do next. There was a staircase in the bear's house, and Goldilocks thought she would see where it led to. So up she went, and when she reached the top, she laughed outright, for she had come to the bear's bedroom, and it was the funniest room she had ever seen. In the middle of the room stood a great big bed. On one side of it, there was a middle-sized bed, and on the other side, there was a teeny, tiny bed. Goldilocks was sleepy, so she thought she would lie down on one of the beds and have a little nap. First, she got upon the great big bed, but it was just as hard as a great big chair had been, so she jumped off and tried the middle-sized bed. But it was so soft that she sank right down into the feather cushions and was nearly smothered. "I will try the teeny tiny bed," she said, and so she did. And she found it so very comfortable that she soon fell fast asleep. While she lay there dreaming of all sorts of pleasant things, the 3 bears who lived in the little house came home from their walk, very hungry and quite ready for their dinners. But oh dear me, how cross the great big bear looked when he saw his spoon had been used and thrown under the table. "Who has been eating my soup?" he cried angrily with a great big voice. "And who has been tasting mine?" cried the middle-sized bear in a middle-sized voice. "But who has been tasting mine and tasted it all up?" cried the poor little teeny tiny bear in a teeny tiny voice, with tears running down his teeny tiny face. And the great big bear went to sit down in his great big chair. He cried out in his great big voice, "Who has been sitting on my chair?" And the middle-sized bear cried in a middle-sized voice, "Who has been sitting on my chair?" But the teeny tiny bear cried out in a teeny tiny voice of anger, "Who has been sitting on my chair and sat the bottom out?" By this time, the bears were sure that someone had been in their house quite recently. So they looked around to see if someone were not there still. There was certainly no one downstairs. So they went up the staircase to their bedroom. As soon as the great big bear looked at his bed, he cried out in his great big voice, "Who has been lying on my bed?" And the middle-sized bear, seeing that the coverlet was all rumpled, cried out in a middle-sized voice, "Who has been lying on my bed?" But the teeny tiny bear cried out in a teeny tiny voice of astonishment, "Who has been lying on my bed and lies there still?" Now, when the great big bear began to speak, Goldilocks dreamed that there was a bee buzzing in the room, and when the middle-sized bear began to speak, she dreamed that it was flying out of the window. But when the teeny tiny bear began to speak, she dreamed that the bee had come back and stung her on the ear. And up she jumped. Oh, how frightened she was when she saw the 3 bears standing beside her. She hopped out of bed and in a second was out through the open window. Never stopping to wonder if the fall had hurt her, she got up and ran and ran and ran until she could go no farther, always thinking that the bears were close behind her. And when at length she fell down in a heap on the ground, because she was too tired to run anymore, it was her own mother who picked her up, because in her fright she had run straight home without knowing it. The end. I hope that you liked that, and I hope that you are fast asleep. Sleep well, and sweet, sweet, sweet dreams.